the Marathon, how would you be measuring the results of that? In the sense that how would you measure that they have reached the capability that you think that they would have reached?
Yeah, this is a this is a very important topic that we have discussed a lot. And again, I don't want to overreach because it's not my portfolio, but I'll just give you the broad thinking. Including yourself, as you know, and including people like Raghu and Esther and John and Arvind, everybody focused a lot on this, and we were already aware of this. If there is a single long-term kind of structural damage that this crisis will leave us with, beyond, of course, the health and the many losses of life, it is the profound damage to educational outcomes that we are seeing already, and we worry that we have not seen anything but the tip of the iceberg. Right now, this has been reported by many people in many places. Even earlier this week, I saw in the Times of India a story about the increasing rate of child marriages. And we are getting data from other places that the dropout rates are so high in the poorer parts of the state. And in other states, it's even worse. So it is of great concern and great importance to us, as you know, right up with the health indicators and the fact that things like maternal mortality, which we had assumed was effectively under control. We used to get 0 cases or 1 case a month, in most 4 or 5. So as much as that is this, how do you get people back to school? How many of them have permanently left the school? How do you ensure that, when they come back, the gap of 18 months may be so bad that they come to school and say, I can't keep up, I'm just going home and never coming back. So, endomelatum and all is the second level for me. The first level is the next 6 months. And that's why we have come up with a separate program where we want the education to go to the child's home, because we're worried that not enough children will come to the school. So we are going to bring in all these people who are part-time, volunteer, unemployed, the graduates, people like that, and pay them to go and help children get reintegrated into the learning process. Now, I have 2 boys, and they happen to, of course, they have all the luxuries and privileges, so they go to a good school, and they've been okay. But I worry a lot. I worry that the lack of 2 years of social interaction or a year and a half of social interaction and the kind of learning that comes from human, kind of integration, I worry whether it will leave a lasting impact on them. And if that's the case for a guy like me, then you can only imagine what it is. In my constituency, I've tried so many ways, and I'm still really nervous. So I think the month of September is going to be crucial for us. We are so worried. There's always this hope that children are so resilient and Tamil Nadu is so much better off, and we really don't have that kind of need for child labor and child marriage, stuff like that. We hope. But the stats will be very important. Now, the good news is, or the interesting news is, that because it all became remote learning anyway, a lot of people pulled their children out of the private schools where they were paying much higher fees and shifted them to the government schools, to the corporation schools. But now that's a masking problem, because if I say that the enrollment is up overall, I still have to ask the question, how many of the old children have not come back? How many of the old children can continue as if they are going to stay in the same class? How many have to be reset? What are the social consequences of that? What are the community consequences of that between the children? So me personally, I'm very nervous. I'm really wondering what's going to happen. And the month of September, October is going to be so crucial for us. I think they've just announced that it's going to open at least for the earlier sections, or whatever, A7, 8 up. I actually wanted to do a lot more on this program. But that's why I said, if you listen carefully to what I said, this is a beginning investment. We will do whatever it takes. Once we discover what it takes or what it needs, then, as I say, there are some things for which you can find money anytime, anywhere, anyhow. And certainly bringing children back to some level of competency. Now, if we do that, then you can start going into what will be the basis of saying they actually can read and write at this level. Should it be this kind of test? Should it be independent assessment? Should it be? But all that is a second issue. My first issue is what happens in the next 2, 3, 4, 6 months. And that is really, as we have discussed, you and I sometimes, and Raghu has been very, very vocal about this every single time we talk. That is the single biggest fear we have is, are we going to lose a generation or half a generation, in terms of long-term consequences of this 1.5 or 2 years?
Thank you, Minister. Forgive me for saying this. I worked in government close to 40 to 45 years with 6 or 7 different ideologies, 2 or 3 prime ministers, and different chief ministers. But I've never come across on all these years somebody who's as clear and who has thought through all the issues. And I very much like the approach that you see this as a problem which is not a simple problem, that it needs to be tackled head on. It will take time, and that humility is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Minister. And I'll just go back.
Very kind, sir. Thank you. We benefit from people like you. We learn all the time. Every day we learn something new.